All right, guys, got a story for you here. Years ago, I was running northwest to southeast when I was pulling reefer. Anyways, I was coming back up. I got up to Oklahoma City and got fuel there at the J. I got copied up, and heading on up, and you already got word that, an ice storm come through and multiple states were shut down, all highways. And, me being me, being independent, third gen driver, and I always had that can do attitude, whatever it took to get the job done. And that's just the way I am. I was then, and I still am now. Even though I slowed down some, I'm still that way. And went to the Cherokee and went on up. Got up to Woodward. There's a fuel stop there where they sold off road diesel, so we filled up our reefers there. Cause the red fuel's non-tax, you can run it in your reefer. And they told me, hey, road's closed 30 miles up the road, which I think it slap out or something like that, but they had it blocked off. So, I coffeed up again, chips and everything, put stuff in my truck more than I had, and I went on up through there, and it was closed. Solid freaking ice, wind blowing, snowing, ice storm didn't come through. Well, me being me, I went on around it. And between like Slapout and Guyman, I bet I've seen, not even exaggerating, 50 to 75 trucks and cars either in the ditch, upside down. But somebody didn't come and picked everybody up because there was no people. Just vehicles. No people. So I went on up through there, got up to Guyman, and that old local cop up there at Guyman, there's a little Citgo or whatever gas station, fuel stop, truck stop, whatever there. I pulled in there, got coffeed up again. No place to park anywhere. Well, that old cop was making sure nobody left. He was hammering everybody. And they told me that inside too. They was talking about it on the radio. So, and I watched him go back and forth. He was hawkeying everything. Well, if you know the area, at that time you'd either make a left there, go into town, make a right, and come on at the other end, or you go straight and cut across by Walmart. Go back roads. Well, I knew what he was doing, so I had to outsmart him because I was gonna keep going. I ain't stopping for no closed roads. So as he went into town that way, I took off and went the other way and went out by Walmart and dumped out on the other side of town, got on out of town. So anyways, I got around him. Then I went up through Kansas, went all the way up there to Tribune, and I think it's Tribune, 93. Anyways, to go back into Colorado to come out to Eads. But the cop there was doing the same thing, hammering everybody. But there's a little fuel stop there, pulled in there, coffeed up again. They told me about it. So I had to watch him. When he went north, I took off and went west. And so got around him. And I'm like, all right. So I was going to dump out over there at Eads, Colorado. I'm trucking. I'm doing good. And lo and behold, as luck would have it, I've made it all this way on all these closed roads, ice, wind, busting drifts, headlight height in different areas, literally. No exaggerations. And I got on up there, then there was a couple trucks stopped in the middle of the highway. I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm looking, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what is that? I slowed down, parked behind the trucks, got out to look. There was if the land is like this and they cut out this part of it to make a highway through it, there's a big dip down, hill on this side, hill on this side. Well, that's what it was, but it filled in full of snow. One drift, like 15 foot high for like a couple hundred yards. There was no way to get around it. So here I am stopped in the road behind these other two trucks. I went and talked to the driver in front of me. So I went climbing up this snowdrift to see how long it was. It was like 15 foot high for like 200 yards. Or 100 yards maybe. Maybe it was 100 yards. Anyways, I'm like, oh man. By that time, a national carrier's pulled up behind me. I went and talked to him, and he was doing the same thing, and they're out of Liberal, Kansas. I go, well, we're going to have to back out of here. There's no way we can get around this or through it. But they didn't call for a loader to come up there and start digging the way out. Well, me and National Care start backing up. We're going to find the closest approach and flip around and going further north and cut back again to the west. Well, more trucks started showing up because everybody is, doing the same thing we did. No, we got to go. We got stuff to do. Well, that little county loader showed up, little payloader, whatever it was, and he was going for all he was worth. It wasn't enough. Then lo and behold, here comes the farmer with one of them huge damn tractors. Had a V-plow on the front of it. 3, 6, 9, 12. He had 12 tires. He was wide. A V-plow on the front of it. He come around the trucks off in the ditch. Everybody hit that snowdrift and just start plowing through it. And that particular tractor, you could bend it in the middle. It would flex in the middle. He hit that with that V-plow and started making his way through it. It was covering him up, and it was plowing out of the way, and he was, working it back and forth, blowing smoke. He plowed through it and just kept going. I'm like, well, there's our cue. Let's go. And then we waited there for a little bit, not very long, for the county's payloader, to make a couple swipes back and forth. Now that the farmer plowed through it like it wasn't nothing to it, and then we took off and went. But, I thought it was pretty funny. But we made it from Slap Out, which is by Woodward, all the way up into Colorado on all these closed roads. Kept on trucking. That's how you do it, guys. All right, we'll talk to you later.